Hey everybody, this is Andy here, aka Montolio, and we are in a vintage premiere event, the first one ever to fire online. So we are in round one, and our opponent's name is ferranr, and I don't have a clue what he's on, but we've won the die roll and we will be playing first. And fortunately that's a real bad hand, we can't keep that. And this is a much better hand. We can actually get a turn one lodestone golem down. Question is, how do we want to do this? My opponent is mulligan. We will not mulligan. Okay, so he has kept a hand to 6. Now, how to do this? Because what my fear is here is that the Sol Ring will be forced or mental misstepped, and that really sets us back a turn here. We don't want to give him an opportunity to do that. And I don't necessarily want to play a Mana Crypt here unless I absolutely have to. So I think the ideal play is probably to play an Ancient Tomb here into a Sol Ring, to play a Mox Ruby. Yeah, let's play Mox Ruby into the Sol Ring and let's see what happens here. Although I really would like to get this Mishra's Factory down. But that only gives us 3 mana. I think the most important play here is to get the Lodestone Golem down, and yes, we're giving up a turn of attacking with the factory, but I don't think we necessarily have the luxury of... I mean, if we want to play the Mana Crypt, we can do it. Maybe this is just a correct play here, is to go with the Mana Crypt as well. Yeah. So let's play down the Mox Ruby. Let's try and get out a Sol Ring here. That lands. I don't really like Mana Crypt, but I think it's worth playing it here. Where the problem with playing the Mana Crypt here lies is if our opponent Force of Wills us, we're in trouble. So I'm just actually going to play the Tomb here. I am going to play this semi-conservative, because sometimes you just lose to Mana Crypt, and we're not in a position to race here. That's the problem. Now, had I known that was going to resolve, I would have done so. Threat? We did not get a threat, unfortunately. So this turn we are just going to play out our factory, and we're going to play out a Pearl. We're very threat light right now, but hopefully our opponent doesn't have too much. Wasteland or Strip Mine would be good here. Let's get out a Sphere Resistance here and see if that lands. It does. Okay. So I definitely feel better about attacking with both. Now, the Sphere is reasonable, but we really are threat light here. Like, I mean, if he gets our Lodestone here, we could be in a lot of trouble. So we gotta hope we draw something here. That is not it. So let's see if we can get one through here. I mean, if we get this hit through, I think we've got a reasonable chance. But, okay. So his strand is now shut off, so he's still under our spheres here. I don't think we're going to lose this here, but certainly anything's possible. I mean, maybe he'll play out a Black Lotus or something, and okay. So we did not see much of our opponent's deck there. He is playing blue-white. Presumably he has Wastelands, but I'm not sure about that, so I'm hesitant to bring in my other Crucible. You know, I wonder if he's playing Vendilion Cliques. We could just bounce it back, but that's not even that great. I kind of just think I'm going to go with what I've got here. Yeah. Until we see a little bit more of the opponent's deck, I'm very hesitant to start making moves. Okay, so this is a much better hand than what we had game 1. We've got lots of workshop mana. And we can power out a turn 1 Lodestone Golem should our opponent let us do so. And which is an absolutely reasonable play. And just has to hope he doesn't have a Force of Will, and if he doesn't, I think we're in pretty good shape. If he does, then we've got 2 plays to follow it up with Kadolsta, and we've also got Tangle Wire. So my opponent looks like he does have the Force. And that's definitely a Force of Will worthy card. Be interested to see if we see a Stoneforge Mystic here. We didn't. Okay, lots and lots of mana here. I think we try and jam a Tangle Wire here and see if that gets through. If we get, okay, it did get through. Interesting. I do think we have to try a Kadoltha Forge Master here. Hopefully that gets through, and it does. Now, he may have some removal here, like a Swords to Plowshare or something, but it doesn't look like it. Okay, well that's great news for us, because having an active Kadoltha Forge Master is a very powerful play. Okay, so we are going to tap this, this, and this. The reason I'm doing this is so if I don't draw anything, I can activate a factory. I guess I can do that anyways, but it doesn't seem like it really matters here, because our opponent has not done anything. Or excuse me, we drew a Mox Pearl. Okay, so we're gonna get him for 3 here, hopefully. Alright, so the question is what do we do here? And I'm not sure what the correct line of play here is. You know, Sundering Titan is definitely one of our most powerful cards. But we're only getting one of his lands here with it. However, it does beat down for 7 a turn. But it dies very easily to Swords to Plowshares, that sort of thing. Staff of Nin is a very strong card. Maybe Staff of Nin is what I want here. And just power. My own opponent only has 3 cards here. I think that's what I'm going to do. And I've got an awful lot of mana here, so I'm just going to get rid of my Mox, my Tangle Wire, and I mean, maybe I just want to get rid of my factory here. Yeah, and keep my Tangle Wire going. Hopefully my opponent doesn't run Stifle. That would be very awkward. I do think the correct play here is to get a Staff of Nin in play. You know, where this would be awkward is if we got hit with a Disenchant or something like that, where obviously the correct play would be a Worm Coil, but we're just going to tap down a Workshop and a Tangle Wire here. Trinisphere is mediocre. Okay, so we got a Worm Coil. I mean, I think we just try and get the Worm Coil, don't we? He hasn't shown me a Force of Will yet, so... Mana Drain is a possibility here. Yeah, so we did get a Mana Drain. So we could be facing a Jace the Mind Sculptor here. So maybe that was a little bit greedy, but... yeah, so we're going to get hit with a Mana Drain here. Okay, maybe a little bit on the greedy side here, because I can now remove 2 of his lands, and I could pretty much lock him down under my I'm just going to attack here. See, what I'm trying to say is I could take his Tundra, and I could take his Island, and I could tap down 2 of his permanents with Tango Wire here, but it would cost me just way too much, so I'm not going to do that. And he's going to be able to cast anything he has here anyways, because he's going to be getting 6 mana off his mana drain. We just have to hope he doesn't have a Jace, because Jace is a card that's been causing me a lot of heartache. Today in particular, I played a daily event earlier, and you know, just everything went wrong. Played Oath of Druids in the first 2 rounds, and I ended up losing both of them. So Black Lotus, and I'm fine with that. He's got a ton of mana here. Okay, so looks like we're going to get away with another draw here with the staff, and an activation potentially from the Forge Master, which is pretty good. Hopefully we draw some threats here, some artifacts. Okay, Strip Mine is and Wasteland are not very good here. I mean, I guess we'll just Wasteland one of his Tundras here. Doesn't accomplish much, but we'll try and get a Trinisphere into play here, and we will contemplate whether we want to use our Forge Master. And I don't think so. I think I'm just going to attack here. I mean, the Hellkite, it would cost me this. 1, 2, 3. Maybe I do just sit back here. Yeah, I think I'm going to. Attacking for 3 is not going to accomplish nearly as much as... So let's see. If he taps down one of his Flooded Strands, okay, like a Strand or his Polluted Delta, I'd be very tempted right now to... Question is, do I just go for let's see what he does. I mean, we can take 2 of his lands away, which is pretty powerful, but he still has the Black Lotus. You see, where you have to be careful here is just throwing your resources away to go and get a bullet. And if your bullet gets Swords to Plowshare or Disenchanted, that's pretty bad. Okay, so we are facing a Jace here. So I suspect our opponent is going to draw here. If he removes my Forge Master, that's really bad, because I can just react to it. Yeah. But I do think that we have to probably use the Forge Master here. And I'm not sure what we want to get. I mean, the Hellkite is pretty good. Maybe we just do go for Sundering Titan here. Yeah, and I mean, if it gets STP'd, it's pretty bad for us, but... Okay, and let's plunk him here. I am going to hit his Jace, just in case. I mean, getting closer to killing it is important if he does have some type of removal here. I think we have the game relatively well under control, regardless of which route we go. And we are going to attack his Jace. We don't have a choice. I am not letting that that thing hang around. He won't be able to cast another one here unless he's got another mana and the Jace in his hand. And of course I'm going to take his mana. And we will play a Sapphire. No reason not to. And we'll also play out a Steel Hellkite. And hopefully that'll seal it. So I'm feeling pretty good about where things are at right now. Okay, guys.